Hello, welcome back to the channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews. We do a few playthroughs, but we don't do unboxings. We generally like to talk a load of bollocks, tabletop gaming in general. And in this video we are going to be talking about 4 small box bangers. These are 4 small box games that we think are really good. There are no dog shit games in this video. So in this video we're going to give you a very brief overview of each of these 4 games rules. We tell you what we do like, what we don't like, and we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not these 4 small box games are worth your time and bother today and in the future. And guess what? They fucking are. So remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button and all that YouTube bullshit. See you after this. Bollocks. So the first small box banger on this list is a Viking themed game called Vbar. This is a role selection game. You will have a hand of cards and everybody will simultaneously choose one of these cards, and then you will resolve them in order of their initiative. The player who plays the lowest card will go first. You will resolve the ability on the card, and then you will choose one of the land cards that are available in the center of the table, right? There's a novel mechanism in here where each player is assigned a sort of rune or a shape or something, and these will resolve ties dependent on whether they show up during the round. So you might have the fighter, and this says all players with a fighter in hand may reveal her to gain 1 victory point, yeah? Or you might end up playing the midwife, and this says take a character back from your discard pile into your hand, right? So that's a good way of cycling cards that you might otherwise have played, yeah? So the characters give you a special ability, and the land cards will give you victory points at the end of the game. So for instance, if you choose the meadow card, it says gain 1 victory point per meadow in your realm and your neighbour's realms, including this one. Well, you might end up choosing a card with the rocks in the sea, and it says gain a reward equal to the initiative value of your character. Yes, if you play a high value initiative character, you're going to get more victory points. This game borrows heavily from games like Citadels and Mission Red Planet, yeah, but it does have a little bit of a twist, not only with the land cards but also with the tie-breaking mechanism with the sort of rune thing, you know what I mean? And the fact that the low value cards mean that you can go first but you're going to have a shit special ability, but the high value cards probably mean you're going to go sort of last. They got a good special ability, and you're going to have to be careful about when you pull the trigger on those cards, you know what I mean? The only problem we have with this is that a lot of these games is dependent on the draw of the cards. It might be the case that a land card that you need to complete a set or to give you victory points that might let you win a game might come out when you have played the character that's going to allow you to get them. Yes, that's a bit of a shitter, especially with the land cards that are going to allow you to accumulate a lot of points, yeah? You might find yourself a little bit disappointed when you can't get the cards that you want, yeah? Overall, Vbar is a fantastic little game, sort of Citadels in miniature, if you know what I mean. I know Citadels is a small box game, but this one doesn't take half as long as that one. It's certainly not as long as Mission Red Planet, you know what I mean? So the second game on this list of small box bangers is a game called Castle Combo, yeah? This is basically just a deck of cards with a little wooden messenger pawn that you're going to be moving between the two, but you're going to lay out 3 village cards, you're going to lay out 3 castle cards, you're going to put the messenger next to the village cards, and you're going to choose a card to put in your tableau, right? At the end of the game, you're going to have 9 cards in a 3x3 grid, and depending on where you put them, they're going to do different things, right? So you've chosen a card, you've paid for it with your money, and you'll see that there is an immediate action, and then there is a point scoring thing at the end of the game. Yeah, it might be the case that you're going to get some keys. Keys let you move the messenger to the castle or vice versa, or they're going to give you points at the end of the game, right? It might be the case that you're going to score points based on the shields that you've got on the cards in your tableau, or the card might automatically move the messenger, yeah? Whatever the case, once you have got 9 cards in your tableau, you'll total up all the points that you got. You might get some negative points as well, then the player with the most points will win. It's that simple. So the fact that this game has 75 unique cards, all with more or less unique special abilities, a few of them do double up, they sort of are similar, you know, the coin purse ones are sort of similar, but the fact they've gone through and they've found 75 different characters with 75 more or less different abilities means that in each game you're probably going to see so many thousand billion different combos appear, and you're not really going to be able to use the same strategy in subsequent games, right? Some of the cards are really powerful, some of them give you 10 points for like sets of 3 different shields, which might be a little bit overpowered, and again, these sort of games are dependent on the luck of the draw. Might be the case that those 10-point cards come out on your opponent's turns and not on yours, and that is a bit of a kick in the balls. But if you could disregard that, if you go into this thinking this is just some really light, easy to play card game that's going to be over in about 15 minutes, yeah, that's what she said, then Castle Combo is going to be a delight for you. So the next game on this list of our 4 small box bangers is a game called Far Away. This is another simple game. It's going to be a bunch of cards, right? You're going to be dealt a hand of 3 cards, and you'll see that there's a number in the top left-hand corner of these cards, right? You're going to choose one of these, and then you're going to put it down in front of you all together, yeah? You reveal them, and then that will sort out the initiative, much like that Vbar game that we talked about at the beginning, right? You'll play this card into your tableau, then dependent on who's going first, they'll choose a card from the display and they'll stick it in their hand. Each one of these cards is going to give you a different number of victory points dependent on whether there's resources in your card line at the end of the game or whether you've fulfilled some sort of requirement, right? The trick with this game is that when you have completed your row of 8 cards, you will flip them all over and then you will score from the last card that you played all the way down to the first card. So you've sort of got to plan ahead as much as you possibly can with the information that you're given when you take the card, right? Once all of the 8 cards have been evaluated, the player with the most points is going to win far away. The main thing that we like about this game is the mind-bending nature, the fact that you've got a plan in reverse in that sort of weird sort of way. You're going to be choosing which card to play, but you won't know how you're going to score it until later on in the game, yeah? So whilst you're trying to think ahead, you're also trying to think backwards as well, yeah? And this is probably one of the most challenging small box games that we've come across, yeah? But if you get it right, it is a fantastically rewarding experience, right? It's got some stellar artwork on there as well. It's got that Altiplano vibe, obviously, because it's set in the Andes or something like that. And it's just really, really pleasant but taxing small box game, right? So the only thing really that we don't like about Far Away, yeah, is the fact that some of the turns you're going to have do feel a little bit wasted, yeah? You're just going to have 3 cards in your hand and you're not really going to be able to do anything with them. You're just going to be playing the card because you have to, yeah? Because all the 3 cards are similar. There are sort of like these sort of mini quests that you can do to sort of bump your points up if you've got a certain amount of icons on your cards and all that. But for the third time, yeah, this game is really dependent on the draw of the offer that is available, yeah? And if that is loaded full of dog shit, then you're going to be eating a fucking dog shit sandwich, right? Overall, Far Away is one of the surprise games that we have played this year, yeah? It's got an original vibe to it. It's just a nice surprise having just a bunch of cards challenge my pea-sized brain in such a simple and easy to teach manner, right? So the final game on our list of 4 small box bangers is a murder mystery deduction game called Chronologic, yeah? You're going to put a load of different character cards out on the center of the table, and then you're going to put a load of location cards out on the center of the table. There are 3 different cases in this game, each with I think 5 different sub cases in the box, yeah? And you're going to get a sheet of paper with a map on it, and you'll be able to sort of take notes and do your deduction shit on that bulk paper, yeah? There's also like a map that you're going to be putting in the center of the table, and that's largely useless, yeah, but it don't really matter. It's just allows you to see the map in public, right? So on your turn, you're going to choose one of the characters and you are going to choose a location. Without looking at the location card in full, put the character card over the top of the location card and you'll see that the character cards have got little holes in and they'll show you some information, yeah? You will have private information that is only available to you. You'll be able to note that down on your little note sheet thing, and then there'll be some information that you have to share with the other characters, yeah? This might be how many times a character has visited that room, whether they visited it at all, and you can also pick up time cards, yeah, to see when characters may have passed through that room so that you can link them to the murder, right, or whatever scenario you're playing. So there's this sort of race against time. You're racing against the other players to try and get as many different clues as you can to deduce who is the guilty party, and if you do that first, then you're going to win the game, right? So the main thing that we like about Chronologic is it provides an interesting take on this sort of deduction sort of thing, yeah? This first started up with Cluedo, didn't it? And there's been various different adaptations of this sort of hidden information thing, you know, with Stop Thief and all that. And whilst this game is absolutely simple, yeah, it's going to be taking a card and getting a couple of bits of information on it, the way that your brain thinks that it's never going to be able to piece all this shit together and find out who did the dirty, once you've got a few leads to go on, then you start putting things together and it starts to make sense, right? And then you actually start to think maybe this person was there. The game guides you into the right direction once you've got enough clues, yeah? And the fact that you're going to have to be forced into making a guess because you're always wary that another player's going to get there first means that you're thinking, should I pull the trigger now? Because if you get it wrong, fucking out of the game, yeah? Yeah, this has got player elimination. So you've got to be very careful about when you decide to drop your pants and expose your ball bag. The only thing that we didn't really like about Chronologic is that it is a one and done game, yeah? It does have 3 scenarios in the box and these are divided into, I think, 5 different subplots, yeah? But once you've solved all of these cases, the game is completely unplayable, yeah? So you're going to have to be hoping that they create an expansion or maybe like another game, yeah? And I think they are releasing 2 other versions of this. But do you really want to spend 60 quid on the same game? There's going to be a few twists, I would imagine. But having to make that decision as to whether the game is done with you or you are done with the game is a little bit of a disappointment. So there you go. That is 4 small box bangers, yeah? All of these small box games are cheap as chips and and they offer a wealth of different strategies, and they're all just like plain fun. Yeah, you can't go wrong with any of them. Yeah, so get off your fucking fat ass and pick one up today. So remember, if you are new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button and all that YouTube bullshit. See you next time.